Hi learners, in this video I'm going to talk about the rights, duties and liabilities of a partner. A partnership concern is an association of two or more persons who have agreed to contribute capital in order to establish a business enterprise and also to share the profits and losses which are arising from the business enterprise. So the co-owners in the case of a partnership concern are called as partners, and there are certain rights, duties and liabilities of a partner. So let's analyze some of these rights, duties and liabilities of a partner. Among the rights of partners, some of the rights are the right to take part in the conduct of the business. Every partner has the right to take part in the management of the affairs of the partnership concern. So basically, when it comes to taking decisions regarding the day-to-day working of the partnership concern or important or other important decisions, every partner has a right to take part in the management of the business concern. Further, all the partners also have a right to express opinion. Express opinion basically refers to giving their consent in any decision which is to be taken in a partnership concern. So whenever there is any decision which is to be taken in a partnership concern, the opinion of all the partners has to be solicited and taken into consideration before taking the decision. Next, right to access accounts. Every partner basically has the right to take out copies and inspect the books of accounts of the partnership concern. Next, right to share the profits. In the absence of any contract regarding the sharing of profits among the partners, every partner has an equal share in the profits of a partnership concern. But otherwise, if there is a different profit sharing ratio between the partners, like supposing there are three partners A, B, and C, so maybe the ratio of profit sharing between these three partners is 1 is to 1 is to 2. In such cases, when there is difference or unequal distribution of profits, this distribution should be mentioned in the partnership deed. Further, the partners also have a right to interest on any additional capital which is contributed by them above the actual contribution which is to be made by them. Like supposing there are three partners A, B, and C, and all of them have an equal share in the partnership concern. And therefore, to have an equal share, each one of them should contribute 10 lakh rupees. So A has given 10 lakh rupees, B has given 10 lakh rupees, and C has also given 10 lakh rupees. Whereas on the other hand, in order to further or expand the business, the firm requires an additional of another 10 lakh rupees. So in such cases, supposing Mr. C is ready to contribute another 10 lakh rupees. So this additional capital of 10 lakhs, okay, earlier itself Mr. C had contributed 10 lakh rupees to join the partnership concern. Now again Mr. C is giving another 10 lakh rupees as additional loan. So in such cases, Mr. C is entitled to get interest on additional advances which is made by him. So Mr. C will get interest on additional loan, not on the entire 20 lakhs which is given to him, given by him to the partnership concern, but only on the excess amount, which is the excess amount of 10 lakhs rupees which he has given to the partnership concern. Further, the rate of interest which is to be given to Mr. C would be at the rate of 6% per annum. However, a partner is not entitled to receive any interest on advances made by them after the dissolution of the partnership concern. Next, right in emergency. Now, in the case of an emergency, if there is an important decision which is to be taken by the partner by the partnership firm and all the partners consent, the time is not available to take all the partners consent. In such cases, whichever is the partner who is taking the decision on behalf of the partnership concern should act in a prudent and honest manner. And further, the decision which is taken by the partner in cases of such emergency will be binding on all the other partners of the partnership firm. Now, the next right of the partner is the right to be indemnified. Right to be indemnified basically means the right to be compensated. So every partner has the right to be indemnified by the partnership concern in respect of any losses which have been suffered by the individual partners in the conduct of the business of the partnership firm. Further, the partners also have a joint share in the partnership property. So which means that any of the property which belongs to the partnership concern belongs to the partners also. However, the property of the partnership firm must be used only for the common benefit of all the partners and basically to carry out by the partnership business. The partnership property cannot be used by the partner for their personal use. Next is right to get retirement. every partner, with the consent of all the other partners of a partnership firm, has the right to take retirement from the partnership concern. Further, the partners also, there's another right of partners which states that there are partners do not have a right to any liability which has been incurred by the partnership firm before them joining the partnership concern. Like, let's take the example, Mr. A and B started a business equally by sharing profits and losses equally in the ratio of 1:1. So in the month of January, they started the business, and later during this period, they have incurred loans of around 30 lakh rupees or something. Then, because of these loans, and they have utilized it to carry out the business, and they have suffered losses on this 30 lakh rupees. So, in such cases, later on, maybe at the end of August or something, if we have Mr. C, another partner, joining the partnership concern, the losses which have been incurred prior to Mr. C joining the partnership firm, that is from the months of January to August, whatever business has been carried out, and because of that business, if there is any losses which have incurred in the partnership concern, then Mr. C is not a partner to such losses. So basically, simply stated, a new partner cannot, before joining the partnership firm, can't be held responsible for the earlier acts of the old partners. Next is the right to carry on competing business. Now, every partner has a right to carry out a business which is similar or in competition to that of the partnership concern. So, so basically, it means that every partner can carry out competing business. However, the partner cannot make use of the partnership firm's name in order to carry out the competing business. Next, every partner also has a right of preventing the entry of new partner. Supposing there is a business which is started by three partners, A, B, and C. In such cases, if Mr. D, who is the fourth partner, has to be included in the partnership firm business, then the consent of all the three partners, A, B, and C, has to be obtained. Only if all the three partners agree to Mr. D joining the partnership firm can Mr. D join the partnership concern. But in cases like two partners have agreed, Mr. A and B has agreed, Mr. C is not giving the consent. In such cases, Mr. D cannot join the partnership concern. So every partner has the right to prevent the induction or inclusion of a new partner in the firm. Further, in the rights of partners, an important thing to be noted in the case of right to carry out on competing business is that if a partner is carrying on competing business, then the partnership deed must allow the partner to do so. However, after the dissolution of the partnership firm, the partner need not have to obtain the consent of the other partners before carrying out competing business. Next, moving on to the duties of a partner. Every partner has to carry on the business of the partnership concern to the greatest common advantage, which means that every partner must utilize their skills and knowledge and expertise which they have in order to conduct the business of the partnership concern and secure maximum profits and benefits to the partners. Next, duty of partner is to be just and faithful to each other. So every partner must be just and faithful and honest to each other, and any matters regarding the partnership concern must be equally disclosed among all the partners. And whenever the partners are carrying out any taking part in the management of the business of the partnership concern, every partner must observe utmost good faith. Next duty of the partner is to indemnify for losses. Now, if there is any loss which is caused to the partnership concern due to the due to the due to the liability due to the wrong decisions which is made by one of the partners, in such cases the partner has to indemnify for the losses. Further, if due to the negligence of the partner, if the business of the partnership concern suffers any losses, in such cases also the partner has to compensate the partnership concern, and that means he has to compensate the other partners. Next duty of a partner is to attend to the duties of a partner to their duties diligently. Diligently actually means to attend to the duties of a partnership concern in full honestly. Next, the partners cannot claim remuneration from the partnership concern even they are taking part in the business of the or in the working of the partnership concern. So basically, to work without remuneration means that a partner is not entitled to receive any kind of remuneration or any kind of salary for taking part in the business or the management of the partnership concern. But in a partnership concern, if there are certain working partners and certain dormant partners or sleeping partners. In such cases, generally the working partners will be paid remuneration, but with the consent of the other sleeping partners, or if such condition has been stated in the partnership deed. However, in general terms, no partner can claim remuneration for their contribution or for their taking part in the management of the affairs of the concern. Next, the partner has to also indemnify. Indemnify means compensate for the willful neglect of their duties. And because of the neglect of the duties, if the partnership concern has suffered any losses, then in that cases, the partners have to compensate the partner who is responsible for the losses has to compensate the other partners. Next, to share losses. It is binding on the partners in a partnership firm to not only share the profits of the business, but also to bear the losses of the firm. Now, if in case of an absence of an agreement between the partners regarding the profit sharing ratio or the loss sharing ratio, generally the losses are also shared in the ratio in which the profits are shared. The other duties of a partner are the partners cannot make use of the firm's property for their personal use. It has to be used only for the carrying out the business. Further, in case the partners derives any profits due to the sale of the partnership property or due to by making use of the goodwill of the partnership concern, in such cases the partner has to account for the profits and pay the profits back to the partnership concern. Then in general practice, a partner cannot carry out a competing business to that of the partnership concern. However, if in the partnership deed or as per the agreement between the partners, if the other partners have given the consent to the partner to carry out competing business, in such cases, the partner can carry out the competing business. But however, if the partner carries on competing business and earns any profit, then he must make sure that he must give an account for the profit made by him to the partnership concern. And if the consent of the other partners was not obtained before carrying out the competing business, then in such cases, whatever profits the partner has made from the competing business must be paid back to the partnership concern. Next, every partner is bound to act within the scope of authority which is mentioned as per the partnership deed. So, and in case if any partner does not act as per the terms of the partnership deed, then if the firm suffers any losses, the partner has to compensate the firm for such losses. Next, the partner cannot assign his or her interest. That means a partner cannot transfer their share to an outsider without the consent of the other partners. Next, to render true accounts and full information. Now, in certain cases, they will have sleeping partners or dormant partners who do not take part in the active management of the affairs of the concern. But however, this should not prevent from the sleeping partners or dormant partners from seeking information from the partnership concern. The active partners must give full information regarding the working of the partnership concern to all the partners. Now, further moving on to the liabilities of a partnership concern. The first liability of a partner is the liability of a partner for acts of the firm. Since the partners take part in the day to day working of the affairs of the concern, every partner is jointly and severally liable for all the acts of the partnership concern which is done in the capacity of him being the partner. So, so no credit of the firm, okay? Which means like let's take the example if the firm has advanced, if any creditor has advanced loans to the partnership concern, the creditor cannot claim the advances only from a single partner, but from the partnership concern, that is from all the partners. Then liability of the firm for wrongful acts of the partner. If there is any loss which has been caused to an outsider or third party, or if there is any penalty which is imposed because of the wrong acts of the partner, then the firm is liable to the same extent as the partner, which means that every partner in a partnership concern is liable for all the acts of the even if for a single act of the single partner. Next is liability of the firm for misutilization by partners. Liability of a firm for misutilization of partners is means that supposing a partner has, though the partner has acted within the apparent authority, that is, the partner is fulfilling the conditions as per the partnership deed. But even after fulfilling the conditions in the partnership deed, maybe if the partner draws any or takes any advances for the partnership concern and invests these advances in wrong avenues, and if the firm suffers a loss, then a single partner cannot be held liable for such losses. all the partners are equally held liable for the losses or for the misutilization by any of the partners. Next, liability of an incoming partner. Now, after the formation of a partnership firm, if any partner joins the concern once the business is started, like in this video prior, I gave an example that a business is started by some partners in the month of January, and then by the end of August, we have another partner coming in. In such cases, before the incoming of the new partner, whatever losses has been suffered by the business, the new partner cannot be asked to compensate for such losses. And similarly, in the case of liability of a retiring partner, if there is any partner who has retired from the firm, then after the retirement of the partner cannot be held liable for any of the losses of the partnership concern. Like supposing Mr. C has retired in the month of September, then after the month of September, whatever losses the partnership concern has incurred, then in such cases, the retiring partner cannot be held liable for the losses of the partnership concern. So, and moreover, after the retirement, the retiring partner should give a public notice of their retirement. If such public notice has not been given to the third parties or to the outsiders that the partner is retiring, and if the third parties advance loans to the partnership concern because they feel that a particular partner is in association with the partnership concern, in such cases, the retiring partner should indemnify for the losses or is liable for the liabilities of the firm even after they retire. Like I gave an example that one of the partners is retiring in the month of September. But if this notice is not given to all the other outsiders, and if then outsider does not know that a particular partner has retired in the month of September and still advances loans in the month of October, thinking that the retiring partner is in association with the partnership concern, then in such case the retiring partner is liable for the losses of the partnership concern even after their retirement to the third party. So to make sure that the liability of the retiring partner ends as soon as the partner retires from the partnership concern, it is necessary to give a public notice of the retirement of a particular partner. So these are the rights, duties, and liabilities of a partner.